President Biden is promising the federal government will do more to help states facing the new Omicron wave of COVID-19 infections. He spoke today as fresh data showed average daily infections are up 80% in 2 weeks. At the same time, the CDC issued new guidance for the infected, cutting quarantine time in half to 5 days. We'll have much more on the pandemic after the news summary. South Africa has begun a week of public mourning for the late Anglican Archbishop Desmond Tutu. The Nobel Peace Prize winner died Sunday at 90 after a lifetime of fighting apartheid and working for racial unity. Today, bells rang at midday from St. George's Cathedral in Cape Town, and President Cyril Ramaphosa hailed Tutu's legacy.
This is a sad moment, but it is also a moment of celebration. Celebrating a life well led and a life that is so gigantic. He was brave, he was forthright, and we loved him just for that, because he was a voice of the voiceless.
We'll take a longer look at the life of Desmond Tutu later in the program. In northern Brazil, thousands of people are bracing for a new round of flooding after 2 dams burst on Sunday. 2 northeastern cities were ordered to evacuate in a region already hit by weeks of torrential rain. Even before the dams gave way, flooding had displaced nearly 20,000 people since early November. At least 20 people have been killed. Back in this country, parts of Northern California and Nevada are buried under heavy snow after a major winter storm over the Christmas weekend. A 70-mile stretch of Interstate 80 connecting Reno to Sacramento was closed in both directions due to poor visibility. The storm brought record cold and snowfall. Parts of Southern California were hit hard by rain and heavy winds. President Biden signed today a defense bill that authorizes $770 billion in Pentagon spending. That is a 5% increase from last year. It includes a pay raise of 2.7% for troops and aid for Ukraine. It also directs that independent military prosecutors take over any sexual abuse cases from military commanders. In economic news, this year's holiday spending showed the biggest increase in 17 years despite Omicron's disruptions. The tracking service MasterCard Spending Pulse reports sales through Christmas Eve were up 8.5% from last year. And on Wall Street, that strong holiday showing helped boost major indexes by 1% or more. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 351 points to close at 36,302. The Nasdaq rose nearly 218 points. The S&P 500 added 65 for a new record close. And 2 more passings of note. The world-renowned Harvard biologist Edward O. Wilson has died. He was known as Darwin's natural heir, arguing that a link existed between human behavior and genetics. From there, he went on to pioneering studies of ants and to focus on preserving species and ecosystems. Wilson spoke with the NewsHour in 2016.
The stakes are the future of life, the future of the living part of the environment. If we allow the living part of the environment to disappear, for me, it will be by future generations regarded as one of the most catastrophic, even evil, periods in human history.
Edward O. Wilson was 92 years old. And Texas lawyer Sarah Weddington died on Sunday in Austin, half a century after she argued the landmark abortion rights case Roe v. Wade. She was just 26 years old when she first went before the U.S. Supreme Court. The justice's ultimate decision in 1973 legalized abortion nationwide. Sarah Weddington was 76 years old. Still to come on the NewsHour, reflecting on the life and legacy of Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Amy Walter and Asma Khalid break down the major political issues of this past year, how students can feel safer from the threat of school shootings, and much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.